There is perhaps no simpler toy than the humble Lego brick. The iconic 4 plain flat sides and 2 studs are simple to make, simple to use, and simple to learn. One would also think they'd be simple to sell, and yet the Lego Group has had a remarkable number of ups and downs in its history. Scares during which it seemed to face certain death, and high points during which it seemed invincible. The company's path has been so turbulent because, as it turns out, selling Legos really isn't that simple. A mere 6 bricks can be combined in an astonishing 915 million different ways. The Lego Group has tasked with finding which of these combinations will excite children the most and ultimately create the most profit. And while the buildable brick may seem an obvious invention today, they were once neither obvious nor easy to make. At a time when premium toys were all made of wood, plastic Lego bricks were a radical departure from the norm. But before we continue the video, please support the channel by hitting the subscribe button, like button, comment below, and also share the video. Thanks for watching. The decision to use plastic was also far from straightforward. Initially, bricks lacked the sticking mechanism in which they stay together until deliberately detached, meaning any creation could be destroyed with one flick of a finger. After years of experimenting with different materials, in 1958, Lego settled on a design that remains unchanged to this day, meaning those old bricks can still be stacked with those manufactured yesterday. The second revolutionary idea of its founder was called the Lego system of play, that every set would be composed of the same basic bricks, allowing them to be combined to produce something even grander. The financial genius of this idea was simple. Now, not only would Lego have a brand, like all companies, that consumers would grow to love, but they would also invest in the ecosystem. The interoperability meant that once a child bought his or her first Lego set, they now lived in a Lego household. There was more value to be had from buying more and more sets. It was on these 2 foundational pillars that Lego grew to become the global sensation it is today. As of 2024, a total of 4.4 billion minifigures have been produced, 80 Lego bricks per person on Earth, and 300 to 400 million mini tires per year, technically making it the largest producer of tires, above Michelin and Goodyear. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. There were many missteps and challenges along the way which directly led to the Lego we know today. One of movies and licensed brand themes like Star Wars and Minecraft. The first of these problems began to surface at the end of the 1980s, when the last of its core patents expired, ending its long-held monopoly on interlocking, buildable toy blocks. In hindsight, although Lego had seen decades of profit, this was the first time it was tested as a company, not merely as a product. During the life of the patent, Lego would coast on the brilliant idea and design of its founder, knowing that no other company could sell in the same market. This insulated the company from competition, creating a culture in which feedback or suggestions from parents or even children themselves was unwelcome. Its designers took a similar philosophy to those of Apple, that they could create demand and that they didn't need to chase it. In 1988, however, all that changed. Now, any toy giant could sell similar brightly colored, themed playsets, which kids may or may not be able to distinguish. At first, the Lego Group shamelessly sued its competitors, Mega Bloks, Oxford Bricks, and others, claiming that although its patents had expired, their similar designs were now infringing on its trademarks. When this failed miserably, it took a different approach. It decided to throw every theme, set, and character out there and just see what stuck. Between 1994 to 98, Lego tripled the number of toys it produced, introducing at least 5 new themes every single year. The one new addition which succeeded did so fabulously. Lego Bionicles had very little in common with its counterparts. They were based on a story of warring robots, were visually dark, and used entirely different parts. But kids loved them. Just a few years later, 85% of American boys aged 6 to 12 said they knew of the brand, and 45% owned at least one of them. Over 40 books were written based on the characters. Bionicles almost single-handedly kept the company afloat, but was just one success atop a mountain of failures. For example, there were Jack Stone, a more detailed character based on a new series of cartoons, and Galador, Defenders of the Outer Dimension, a live-action sci-fi series which cost LEGO millions and almost no one watched. In 2003, it had become abundantly clear something needed to change. The company was on the edge of bankruptcy with $800 million in debt, a 30% decline in sales, and an estimated loss of $337,000 every day. Even worse, the company didn't really know why. This became the task of its then newly hired CEO in 2004 to figure out why the company was losing so much money. Its original hypothesis was that kids were increasingly turning towards modern alternatives, video games, and electronic toys. This turned out to be wrong. So in 2004, the new CEO came in and hit the ground running. He first decided to do an extensive autopsy on the company and found that LEGO's profitability was largely driven by its Star Wars and Bionicle sets, with the remaining 94% of its portfolio underperforming. The Star Wars sets, in particular, were closely tied to the release schedule of new movies, making LEGO's earnings heavily dependent on its cinematic partnership. This challenge marked the beginning of a new era for LEGO, where the company sought to diversify its offerings and minimize reliance on external brands by securing multiple licensing deals and increasingly focusing on developing its own content. The success of the LEGO Movie epitomizes this strategy, enabling LEGO to maintain control over its branding and keep its narrative alive for new generations. However, this shift has sparked debate among LEGO's substantial adult fanbase, with some critics arguing that the company has drifted from its creative roots in favor of Hollywood-style storytelling. Others contend that LEGO now prioritizes play over the traditional joy of building. Whatever the criticisms may have been, it did not change the fact that LEGO had their back against the wall and knew they had to do everything they could to get out in front of this oncoming disaster. So, aside from LEGO's iconic building blocks and movies, they decided to diversify their portfolio by extending their brand into LEGO theme parks, LEGO-themed retail stores, and LEGO digital products, which resulted in the company making $9.65 billion in 2023. Despite all their challenges and evolving market dynamics, LEGO's sustained success can be attributed to its remarkable ability to adapt while staying true to its core values of creativity, quality, and innovation. By strategically leveraging both licensed partnerships and original content, LEGO has effectively expanded its audience and kept its product offerings relevant in a rapidly changing toy and entertainment landscape. LEGO's adaptability is the key reason why LEGO continues to build its legacy, piece by piece, into the 21st century. Were any of you LEGO fans as a kid or even an adult? Also, what do you think of the current trajectory of the company? Please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments, and again, please support the channel by hitting the subscribe button, like button, comment below, and also share this video. Thanks for watching.